What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Gravity the Beast. Welcome back to the Big Cap. No bullshit, just conversations about passions, philosophies, and perspective. We here again, got another episode for you. I got some homies with me. Go ahead again, you already know.
Already know. Twan, your neighborhood real nigga. We back.
Real shit, real shit.
What's good? It's your boy YK back on one more pod.
Right.
It's your boy Astro here. First time.
Real shit.
Good to have you.
Yeah, that's my brother right here. We go way back, son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's actually interesting. I'm glad to have you on here, bro. So today's topic, and we've been doing reviews on certain parts of certain chapters of The Rational Male by Rollo Tomasi, right? So today's topic is Oneitis. And many times in some of the previous episodes, I've brought up this topic because of how much it affected me mentally. Mm-hmm. And since, like, me and Twan, we already, like, peeped the book, like, I don't know, you said you was going to listen to it again. I started listening to it again. So, like, I done went through it a couple times. That's probably my third time hearing that particular part.
Damn.
So, what are y'all thoughts, real quick? Like, start with you and then go. So.
Oh, sorry. I thought you went.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Start with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because it was, like, pretty much of everybody is going against. Oh, against, like, everybody going against or following that everybody has a soulmate, right? Or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, essentially, yeah, it kind of doesn't make sense. You think out of how many people are here, is only one person to be, and that's all end all be all.
That's illogical.
Yeah, it's like, it's weird. And then but you talk to people like, oh, yeah, I've been in love multiple times. So it's like,
yeah. So
how can you have one true one if you fallen in love multiple times, you done did this and that, different partners. I'm like, you get different experiences from each person. So I'm like, I don't think you could just say this is the one. Like, that's a little weird.
I feel you there. Like, what's your thoughts, Josh?
I mean, I essentially agree with what he said because, honestly, the way I thought about it was like, I feel like everybody kind of has a set of things that they expect from their partner.
Yeah.
Whoever they end up having a relationship with, you know what I mean? You're with people, you're in relationships, and then over time you build your ideal person. You feel me? Like, you build the traits and characteristics that you would want from your partner. And you know what I mean? As much as we can expect a lot out of people, like, that tends to be a very short list because, you know what I mean, people are really different. And, like, they might show you these few characteristics in different ways, but it's like, you know what I mean? If I got a girl that's loyal, you know, is going to cook, going to clean, going, you know, just take care of me and my kids, and and in return I take care of them. Like, you know, I want somebody, you know, I guess kind of on the same level as me, like, I'll say intellectually, not to say that I'm super smart or anything, but like just somebody I could have conversations with, go back and forth, somebody who's probably like-minded, like, you know, just somebody who's easy to be with. Like, I don't want somebody who's going to be like complicated, we arguing all the time. Like, that happens in relationships, you already know. Nobody just, you know, is always going together perfectly, but like, you know, just somebody who's easy to be with at the end of the day. And I think pretty much everybody really wants the same thing, like, when it comes to that type of stuff. So it's like it don't even, like I said, it's illogical to think that multiple girls couldn't do that. Like, that was real simple shit I just mapped out. Like, I mean, like, not to say I mess with my sisters, but all of my sisters show those same qualities like that I just stated, and that's probably why I'm attracted to that, because I've seen it. My mom, you know, she has those same qualities. Like, I've seen it growing up. Like, my aunts and, like, you know, any female role models I've had in my life, I've seen these same qualities, and that's why I desire that, I believe. So it's like there are multiple women that have these qualities because I've seen multiple women. I met women that aren't in my family that also possess these qualities. So it's like, you know, I can't sit here and act like, you know, even if I'm with the girl, I can't sit here and act like, you know, she the only one that could do this for me. And I feel like he said, that's actually kind of paralyzing, like, that mentality.
Real shit.
Because it'll mess you up, because, you know, it'll have you thinking that nobody else is for you, and like, it might make you move a certain way in your relationship, and that might make your girl lose respect for you in a way, like, and also to your maturation, like, you end up focusing on that more than you do focus on yourself and your dreams and what you really trying to do. Like, that's what you should really be focused on, not no soulmate or whatever. It's like, I mean, and I like the idea of being like, this is my soulmate. Like that, I feel like that's a real like powerful and emotional thing to say. But it's like I wouldn't say that unless I really felt like, yo, like we have a connection, we share a connection. I think that's really what it means to have you find your soulmate, find somebody you really share a connection with, like a strong one, and somebody you could be with for life. You could be with for life, not necessarily have to be with for life.
Well, I mean, we could dig more into that too.
Yeah.
I got a lot of thoughts on a couple things you just said.
I feel that.
But what's your thoughts, Twan?
Like when you touched on like the mindset, it's like paralyzing and debilitating. Because it's like at the end of the day, it's like you base your relationship based off this unrealistic ideal. So now your expectations of the relationship itself become unrealistic.
Yeah.
And therefore, just having this mindset, it's like you could say soulmate all you want, but having that mindset almost dooms you to failure.
Yeah.
It's almost doomed to fail at that point.
It's putting a lot of like pressure on the relationship. You know what I mean?
Not even, it's not pressure, but you're
Faith.
blind. You can't see shit clearly. You're not rating certain shit
Okay.
how it should be rated and how it should be determined.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
See, now one of the things I want to touch on that you had mentioned earlier, right, was like you could see different traits in different people, and like over time in a long-term relationship, you and your significant others would like kind of add to your significant other, and they would build certain traits based on your influence, right? Now, I agree with you in that particular sense. I mean, depending on what type of things we're talking about. But one of the first things that stuck out to me was like, you know how wild that kind of sounds to your average person or your average modern person, or maybe especially the modern women. Like, if I were to be honest about getting into a relationship and like, yeah, I'm gonna build her up, they'd be like, oh, wait, hold up. Like, you think you control her, you make her, like, oh, like you sound like a X, Y, and Z, like you all this.
And women do that all the time.
Whereas a lot of women do. Like, they might feel
I'm be the one to
like,
fix him.
I thought I could fix him. I thought I could change him. I thought I whatever.
Fix him.
And there's no real stigma to that. Though, at the end of the day, that really is a relationship. It's like anyone you interact with, whether upfront or covertly, is changing you.
Yeah.
Whether you understand it or not. And it's up to you as you grow older and you get better within your social and your people skills, you realize how people are changing you, who to separate from, who can change you for the better, and how you change another person.
Yeah.
You know, you start to understand your influence. But then when it comes into the relationship dynamic especially, it's even more prevalent, because now, opposed to just somebody meeting you, like you can become, you can think selling drugs ain't that bad just because every time you walk down your street, you might see somebody selling drugs, and there's no emotion tied to it, really. It's just pure influence off of proximity. Whereas when you have feelings for somebody, it takes it a bit further to where, oh shit, my dad did it, my cousin did it.
Right.
Well, it's even less of an issue. Like, oh, well, show me. Like, we get into that, right? So when we have emotions and we get into certain relationships, you're going to be affected by your significant other. But that's when it comes down to staying in frame to a certain extent.
Right.
Because at all points in time, you're going to have those influences, but it's up to you to make sure whoever is influencing you is for the better. When you have a significant other, you want to make sure they're influencing you for the better. And one of the big problems with Oneitis is that we close off to the idea of the influence from your significant other. Yeah. You're not really thinking about whether it's for the better or for the worse. You're thinking that this is what it's supposed to be, regardless of either or. And you take the bad and you take the good and you use emotions, or they're the one, as your excuse to be in a situation. It's almost like
put up with nonsense. Like,
yeah, but you might not even look at it as nonsense. You might look at it as this is the way it is.
Right. So does it like flip it? Because I feel like sometimes it might be like a flip. It's like since she's the one, if it's not working, it's probably because I'm fucking it up. They was destined for me.
Okay.
So if they're truly destined for me, I must be doing something wrong.
And I mean, but
Instead of
Yeah,
putting
that's a fucked up
accountability
mindset, though.
what
That's
on the
weird.
other party.
I will say, like,
Yeah.
there's nothing. I feel like there's nothing wrong with you, like, reevaluating yourself and seeing, like, am I really doing something wrong? Like, can I do better before? Especially, like, if there is an issue in a relationship, like, I like to reevaluate myself first before I approach the other person. If I reevaluate myself and I still feel like there's an issue, then I'm gonna speak. You know what I mean? We're gonna speak on that.
Yeah.
But like, in terms of like flipping it on its head completely, I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't think that that's necessarily like what it does all the way. I think it's more like I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm trying to say right
I
now.
feel like nothing you're saying is wrong, but when you get in a soulmate, it becomes unhealthy.
Oh, well,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah, okay.
hard. It's like you rationalize that they cannot be the problem, so therefore you don't see it.
Well, I mean, I could see that happening too, as far as like you looking at it like they can't be the problem. But a lot of the times, it makes you overlook what the issue is. You know, it's like you normalize bullshit to where there is no problem. You're just going through the roller coaster, opposed to understanding what consistency is. Like, for better or worse, you know, when a person like has a relationship and they go through that up and down, you know, you're not really ever able to see levels. You know, like the way you compare things is just going to be messed up a lot of the time. But what's your thoughts, Dustin, on a lot of this?
I mean,
A lot of this.
like you say, the soulmate thing. It's like you think because this is the person for you, you don't want to mess this up. You're so scared to be like, all right, like you said, it's you look at yourself and be like, oh, what's wrong with me? But that's not. I don't think you should really look at that's kind of unhealthy, really, because it's like it may not be you. You might just be looking past all the red flags and the motherfuckers is waving like this at you, and you like, yo, you just like, nah, that person's for me. Person's for me. I gotta just figure it out.
I do feel
But
that.
it's like you looking at the world, you looking at this person through red glasses, and you just like,
See, now let me ask you this: what do you think it means to be the one? What do you think that implies? What do you think that most people think when they hear that term?
but most people it's like, this is the last person I'm ever gonna be with. This is essentially, I guess it's weird to say my person, but this person is for me. Like nobody else. This is me and this person to the end.
I mean, the soulmate, like
We gonna die together.
Yeah, like
But- but,
caskets
but
together,
what do
like
you-
we
what do
right
you
there.
think- what do you think
about
is,
the one specifically.
No, I mean, like, but what do you think most people require for that? Like, do you think it's more so actions that a person does, or is it more so where the individual is in their personal experience up until that point? Like, what I mean, you could have a person that doesn't have a lot of relationship experience.
Yeah.
So they might find somebody who reciprocates some type of emotions, and then to them, that other person that loves them back is the one because of their lack of experience. But then you might have somebody who has a lot more experience, and this person that they find is the one based on certain actions they do.
Yeah.
Like this person does X, Y, and Z, but then I feel like the tricky part, right, is when we talk about the word connection. You know, when we say like, yeah, there was just a connection, I felt it. It brings it to a deeper point, right? So like we can establish that maybe we're judging it on different things, but now what is love? What is a connection? Like, how would you describe that feeling that most people would list on to how they know this person is the one? How would you describe it? What do you think
What, being
brings
the
that
one?
about? Well, no, I'm saying like the idea of love,
Love itself?
like the feeling.
Just the feeling. That's a hard journey.
That's
to
a
put
hard
into,
question
like,
to answer.
Yeah, because everybody looks at love can be anything to somebody.
No, I mean,
Slightest little thing could be love.
Well, then let me specify it. Romantic love.
But even that, your view on romantic may be everybody has a different.
Like, we just watched the
Literal.
Fresh and Fit podcast yesterday, and the joint was talking about, yeah, I like dudes to beat me the fuck up. Like,
Yeah, like
it's like, now, most girls I meet probably aren't going to say that,
Yeah,
but
I've
the
never
fact
heard
that
that
I
shit
heard
before.
that come out of a girl's mouth is like,
somebody has
it's
that
different for
mentality.
everybody, bro.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just like, I feel like love is like a very emotional thing, obviously. Like, it's an emotion, like, obviously. So, but I also feel like it's like, well, at least when you talk about establishing a connection with people, like, I feel like that connection that's felt is a real thing. And I feel like the love that comes from that could be a byproduct of that connection, potentially.
What's the difference between love and that connection?
I feel like that connection, like you could, like, all right, so you could be friends with somebody and then not necessarily love them, depending on like how long you known them, how much y'all, you know what I mean, how good your relationship actually is. Like
Can you stick to romantic though? Like not.
But I'm tying it back to that.
Okay.
So I'm saying like, obviously like me loving my like girl isn't going to be the same way as me saying I love y'all.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? I wasn't going to say I love y'all after the first week I met y'all, after the first month I met y'all, after the first 2 months I met y'all. Yeah. But then over time, we've grown a relationship, and it's like, all right, I can't say like, no, these niggas look out. Like I love these niggas. Like these are people that I could really, you know, have in my circle and be around. So I think it's the same thing with like relationships. So like when you have a girl and you establish that connection, it's kind of like that same like evaluation level. Like you might want her to be your girl, or like you might have the prospects for her to be your girl. Like that might be your intention going into it. So you're evaluating. You have that connection you established. You fuck with her, she fuck with you. You know what I mean? You don't know if necessarily everything, you know, personalities match up. If she going cook, clean, do all the, you know what I mean? Do all the things on your checklist. Like I know we don't talk about that a lot, but on your checklist as a man, she's, you know what I mean? So, but that connection has been established, that like initial like attraction is there, and it's like, all right, we could talk, we could have a like, I guess a friendship, I mean, or the beginnings of a relationship, the talking phase, whatever you want to say, like we could have that. And then I know you might not like talking, but you know what I'm trying to say.
No, I finished so I can go in. I want Twan to go first, and then I got some thoughts.
All right, but so yeah, I mean, but that was like that initial connection gets established, and then like it builds into that relationship and that love over time. Like I feel like love is built over time based off you learning the person and you having a genuine respect and care for them. You feel what I'm saying? Like you developing a genuine respect and care for them. Like I love y'all because I've developed a genuine respect and care for you guys. You feel me? And it wouldn't be, I don't think that would be any different whether it was romantic or not. That's what I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. But it's like, yeah, like once I like, you know what I mean? Like I already had feelings for you, but like when we established, like that was the connection. But like once I get to know you and you check off all the things on my checklist, and you know what I mean, like, and you start to like, I'd start to develop that respect, that trust, and that like genuinely, that's the love, because you're consistent, like you said, you're consistent, and I see the consistency, I see all that, so it's like, yeah, I could, yeah.
All right, Twan.
I bet. Okay, here I go. Breakdown.
You said breakdown.
I feel like, to start off, what makes the love between like a man and woman different is the level of intimacy in it. I feel like that's the distinction. And since you're with, and it's like probably the most intimate you could get with another person. And I feel like that intimacy causes like infatuation. So a lot of times when most people are talking about love or they say they love somebody, it's really just they're infatuated with that person.
Yeah.
It's not true love. It's like you see what they could do for you. Mm-hmm. You're infatuated with that idea. Right. They could do this. They could do that.
Right.
What I feel like love is like the most selfless act. It's like you do for the other person without wanting anything in return, just cause. You want to make them better, and they should want to make you better. So it's like a give and give.
Mm. Okay.
See.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
No, so, all right.
I like that.
I feel as though, like, my initial, like, thing that kind of alarmed me, like, remember how I said that specifically talk about romantic love? Because I truly feel like it's two different things. Like, I believe in love in a general sense of the word. I do think the term love changes definitions based on the word we put before it.
I feel you.
So we could talk about platonic,
romantic love is definitely different from, like, I agree with that. So
like romantic love. family love.
Yeah, it's way
brother
different.
and sister love,
Way different.
like parental love. It's a lot of different types of love. So when we specify and we talk about romantic love, I've already been on record saying I don't believe in true unconditional romantic love.
I feel that.
So when I get into that part of it, like when I think of friends, that's a different type of love. You know, like you can love your friend, you can ride in the car until the wheels fall off, like hold him down when he catch a body and blah blah blah, and go on missions or go work at a job together or start a business together, whatever, right? Like you can have these type of relationships. Now, not to get too far into the like being friends with a female part, because we already have an episode about that. Can women have platonic male friends? But like really getting into it, the idea of love, I feel like gets misconstrued a lot of the time. Like, or even talking about a connection. Like if we want to really establish that part also, I feel like love, or what most people consider love to be, is just respect. You know, it's respect with a set of requirements. And based on those requirements, love is the byproduct, or the actions that we perceive as love is the byproduct.
I can agree with that.
Whether even like to a certain level, like physically, you know what I mean? Like you can play football with your homie and build a camaraderie there, but that's physical. There's I don't know exactly, like endorphins or dopamine, whatever. Certain things run through your brain, certain chemicals, to where your body is getting used to feeling at a certain place when you're with this person. And it develops a certain feeling, like physiological feeling towards the person, however it be, whether it be loyalty in times of hardship, in times of sadness. You're going to develop certain bonds with certain people. Now, when we get into the idea of romantic relationships, you know, just being together, you meet a woman. I disagree as far as you're talking about, like building like a friendship, and then like we might conflate that and with the talking and all that. Like, and like you said, you already know I don't like the term talking. It's like either you're platonic or you're not.
Yeah,
you don't gotta be in a relationship with a person. You don't even need to fuck. Either you're platonic or you're not. And if you're considering anything with this person, it was never platonic. You're getting to know them, but it's not a regular friendship. It's a mutual friend zone.
I feel that.
It just is what it is. So that is not even genuine to a certain point, because there's no real connection. All there is really words and desire. It's not really I love you, I'll do anything for you. In the beginning, from the guy's side, is, oh shit, she cute, but let me get to know her. And maybe it's the same thing on the female side. Oh, maybe he's cute, maybe he's cool, maybe he's fit, maybe he's whatever. He has good personality. Vice versa. We might have different things that attract, even on a platonic level, right? You might be like, yo, this person is just cool. But we break it down differently. And when we're getting to know each other, I wouldn't say, yeah, build that connection and it turns into love, because then we start conflating certain terms, certain relationships and things like that. I really feel like when a person meets another person and they have their checklist met to a certain extent, soft voice, kind personality, nice body, you know, women can have their own standards, right? We move in and we get to know certain people. Now, the thing when we perceive as a connection is, in my opinion, a conflation of desire and infatuation, like similar to what you were saying. Maybe you desire this person, they like reciprocate some of that desire, and you sense it. Over time, you build an infatuation and you have a quote unquote connection. Now, most of the time, that may or may not be enough, and you could build upon it through learning about a person, doing X, Y, and Z. You might be able to build layers onto your connection, so to speak, a connection. But the idea of love is where you get things fucked up. I feel like I don't really believe in love in that sense anymore. Or I would say I don't believe in romantic love, because we've been lied to about what it meant. So when I say I don't believe in unconditional romantic love, that's pretty much the same as saying I don't believe in love, because we've been taught that love was unconditional or should be. So it's like,
I see why you said that.
But But that's not. It's not like to dig too far into that.
Like,
see- no, I see-
unconditional love
I
comes
see what
from
you're
one-itis. I feel like.
Well,
But I
but
feel
no,
unconditional
but
love is a thing, though.
Unconditional
It is a thing,
romantic,
but for very specific.
No, unconditional romantic.
Oh, romantic love.
Between
that's
a man and a
specific
wife.
Statement.
Okay, I see.
I feel like the only
like
real
the love my family has,
unconditional love.
I would say is more unconditional
Yeah.
than like the love, like a relationship I would have with a girl at any point. In
No,
time
yeah,
in my
like
life.
family, you just gonna
So
love
it's like,
Yeah.
I see, but I see why you just said what you said about like the reason I feel like love isn't a thing is because I've been taught that love is unconditional. So like that was honestly like what just brought me to like, all right, now I kind of really get where you're coming from, because for real, like, and like I've already kind of accepted that ideal, and like I'm operating off of like what I gave you was what I'm starting to feel now more, like because we've had these talks before, so it's like what I feel now is more like I understand it's not unconditional, so like the love for me is going to come from you meeting my conditions consistently.
Yeah,
That's where the love is going to come.
that's
from.
where the consistency
Yeah.
lies.
I mean, but I'm saying that's where the love for you is going to come from, because like, you know, I mean, I'm going to be able to brag on you. Like, yeah, she handled A, B, and C, D. Like, she's like that's where that comes from. Like, so I'm saying that like we can agree that like I agree with you. That's what I'm trying to say is I agree with you. Like love, I don't feel like any type of love you're going to receive from a romantic partner is really going to be unconditional. Like that's honestly, it's just cap. Like that's illogical. Like I said about other shit, it's illogical. It don't even make sense because every girl has their conditions. Every girl has standards that they want you to meet. It might be different from girl to girl, but they have standards they want you to meet as a man. I mean, shit. Every girl I've been with, I know for a fact if a nigga pulled up and was trying to harass her, they would want me to come in and protect her.
Yeah,
I know that for a fact.
yeah.
So it's like that's a protection. That's a requirement. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just something that simple. But it's like, yeah, every girl has that. So, but like I feel like that love, like I feel like love in that relationship is real. It's just not real in the way, like you said, that we have been taught that it should be like that. It should be basically.
I mean, it's not really like I feel like saying it's not unconditional is the easiest way to understand it.
Yeah,
but then it's like it makes me think of when people say like blind faith when talking about religion, whereas the term faith implies that you're already blind, you don't know. It's like people like to use words for the wrong, like in a wrong way. If you say you have faith in something, but you have information on it to like you're probably going to be right, that's not faith, that's probability. When you don't have anything to prove your point, but you still believe it, that's faith. You know? So
It's like, do you not have faith in the probabilities?
Well, no, because like you know the probability.
Yeah,
But it's
not
like
to have faith.
Isn't
It's
that
a
an
probability.
oxymoron to have faith in the probability?
hold up, but
that what
right, but when you say probability, it assumes multiple outcomes.
Yeah, but you're going
And
with
you-
the probable outcome.
and there's like data to it.
Yeah,
Not
so you have
just
faith
maybe.
for the probable outcome over the less probable outcome.
I mean, you could argue
Because it
that,
could always
but-
fuck up. That's what
No,
statistics is.
but,
Yeah,
but
I
the
mean,
point
to an
is,
extent.
you're aware that it's most likely not gonna, and you have proof of it, opposed to not having anything to back it up and believe it.
I kind of feel where he's coming from too, because like when you talk about walking by faith, like that's more like what he just said. Like, I mean, you know, like I'm a little like you religious too, so you know, like you was raised in church, and when they talk about walking by faith, not
I feel
by
like blinded
sight,
by faith is the correct term.
blinded by
Like they're
faith.
using
Definitely
words
can.
correct.
But you mean blind faith, like having blind faith?
versus blinded by faith, two different things.
Yeah, that's
Blind faith is
You could
something
definitely
that,
be
feel like
blinded by faith.
Yeah.
but faith.
but-
He's saying faith already implies that you're blind. Like, I think that's another oxymoron, honestly. Blind faith, like
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
faith already implies that like I do not know. I have a belief. There's a belief. I just believe. I don't know. I believe.
there's no data behind
Like
it.
walk by faith, not by sight. It's like when I can't pay my car note and my job is not about to pay me enough to make this car, then God is about to come through, and I'm gonna have faith in Him to make it work, and
I'm not gonna lie,
and it be working sometimes. And
Put
dude,
the gas in there somehow.
I'm gonna get gas in my wheel, eat, and pay my car note this month. I don't know how I'm gonna make it happen, but it's gonna happen. You feel what I'm saying?
I can't
Like
tell you how
that's
many
faith.
times my grandmother was just talking about like how she ain't had no bread or she had to give the last of her bread to do X, Y, and Z, and then
Somehow
she
money
talking about
comes through.
Nah, she gamble a lot, so it's like it's some city shit. Like she hit the number. You already she hit the number.
Gambling is
Like,
fun. That's why I don't
do
do it.
this mortgage 1,100 and blah blah blah. Next you know, you hit the number. She just got 1,800.
Them numbers.
Them
numbers.
shits, bro. That's some shitty shit. They don't got that out here. It's just casino shit. They don't know homeboy in the corner.
I feel
They
you.
don't know that little shop that sells
It's the
phones.
pot. Yeah, it's the pot. Like,
It's
you just
like,
got to put
yo,
it into the pot.
Sometimes you get lucky.
It'd be like that one electronic store with all old shit.
And you know, like, how they
It's
still in
like-
business? And like, you know.
Bro,
Like a mattress store.
they got like landline phones and shit. But the blind faith aspect, though, that I feel like when people talk about love, it's kind of like think about it like this. This is my opinion on love and the whole idea of oneitis, right?
Right.
We walk through our lives and we might see Disney Channel shit. We might watch movies, romantic comedies, see all these different types of media and influences on us, right?
You definitely get influenced by that shit.
You're getting influenced by it, but from a young age, you're looking at it from, well, okay, I understand like this guy might be rich, or maybe this person might have this level of status, or whatever the situation is to attract their significant other. But you hold on to the idea of, when I get to that point, I'm gonna have this love. You know, it's like girls grow up watching Cinderella and they get told that they can go from nothing to a princess. Whereas guys, I mean, it's kind of fucked up. Guys is like, well, damn, I got to be a prince.
Yeah.
But that's fucked up to an extent. But
That's kind of what it is.
the point is, right? The lie is, because they told us the truth. We do need to be a prince. We have to be the best.
Right.
The one thing that they lied to us, and it's like mixing in the bullshit with some truth. They said that once we get there, we can find that one. That's still not true. It was only
Mad princess.
It was only part true. It was only part true, and that's the issue there, because now you got a lot of dudes who might work on themselves, get to a certain level, and then they get fucked up because they think they found their Cinderella. They think they finally became the Prince Charming dude, and they found their Cinderella, and now like they could live happily ever after until homegirl fucking dips off with the crown, and then now he kicked out the castle and she brought a new nigga in there.
I'm
It's
dead.
like, bro, but a lot of the times that's it right now. When we look at the divorce rate, especially in the black community, but just looking at the divorce rate, looking at the percentage of
don't
women
even-
who
man.
contribute to the divorce rate,
That shit tragic.
it's fucked up.
That
But
shit is
a
fucked.
lot of it comes
It
from
really,
the
really is.
idea of oneitis. You know, I used to actually believe that, like, yo, yeah, I there's just like you saw me with one of my like recent situations, like where I'm like, yo, I don't know, it's just a connection,
Right.
and this and that, and yo, I have reflected so much since that has ended. I mean, I did Blue Residue 3 like as soon as it ended, but part of me want to do a goddamn fourth one, like just to talk about even more that I've reflected on since.
I feel that.
Bro, because it's so much. I'm like, God, I'm just like, God damn, bro.
Bruh.
Like at every step, I was deluded. Like I was telling myself there's a connection, and I felt it, and she
See,
agreed to feeling it.
I
and-
think
but it's
you.
not,
Hold
it's
up,
not
hold up,
real.
before I forget.
Yeah.
When you keep saying connection, do you feel like that connection is? I feel like when niggas say it's like, yo, we got a connection, we got this, we got that.
Yeah.
I feel like when it's that fear of losing intimacy
What you mean?
to a point. It's like there's a chance. It's like, yeah, we cool, we connect, but there's something more beyond that that you're chasing.
I feel like that more beyond that, or
That's
want me
the
to speak in
intimacy.
general, or in my case.
Now that connect,
In general.
yeah, in
I wanna
general,
hear
like
in
that
general.
connection.
Okay.
You hold on to it because you feel the potential that it can lead to something.
I feel like a lot of the times it could be like in general. I feel like a lot of times it could just be a psychological issue. Whereas you might have a guy that can have multiple women. He's not going to lose sexual abundance in his particular case, but he gets caught up on one particular woman. Now, to some extent, you might ask, is it the fear of losing that intimacy? Whereas he could get that same intimacy from somewhere else, but chooses this particular person because of, in my opinion, oneitis. Not that this person is the one for him. Not that he couldn't replace her if he felt like doing it in that moment.
He just believes.
But he believes that, yo, it's worth going through the bullshit because she is the one. And that is where the issue is. So, like, the connection in that particular aspect, like, you could have a relationship with a person. Right. Everything is cool. She do what you need her to do. You do what she needs you to do. Y'all happy, right? But if you forget that it's always conditional, no matter how happy you think you are, you got to remember what you're doing. It's like you got to look at a relationship like a healthy body. You got to look at how you look in the mirror. Look at how much you ate yesterday. Look at how many calories you burned. What particular muscles you worked out. Then wake up tomorrow, weigh yourself again. Did it change? What changed? What did you eat different? What did you do different? The moment you think you can just eat all you want and not work out and not get fat, you're fucked up. And that's the relationship. Unconditional romantic love is like saying I can eat whatever I want and not gain weight and keep my six pack and be muscular.
Yeah, I feel you on that. No, because you gotta hold shit down.
What's your thoughts on that, Justin? You made a little face. I was like,
Wait, say what you said again.
I said a relationship is like a healthy body.
Yeah.
You need to keep in mind the things that you do and the things that you eat and how many calories you burn.
Yeah.
The moment you think you can eat whatever you want and not work out and stay fit, healthy, able to lift mad weight, X, Y, and Z, is the moment you're fucked up. Similar to a relationship. You might be in love, but really it's only because you eat and work out you have a healthy body. That healthy body is that love. You might think you got love, so you don't need to work out. You don't need to worry about what you eat. And then in the same way, like you think like, it's okay. I'm gonna take a job that gives me less money, but gives me more time to be around the house for her.
That's crazy.
That's
that's crazy,
bro.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, like yo, if I can make more money, you better start understand. I got to do this. Like
that's part of Oneitis because that type of thing.
Yeah, that's real shit.
I'm gonna take less ships that way, and I'm just talking about on a single area, but like take it into even
that's like delusion,
parental shit.
That's delusion, is it not?
No, because this is
not,
what is
it's
being
not
taught.
delusion. It's real life.
Guys today are being taught
people
that
do it, but in their situation, that's delusion. They're delusional in the sense.
Guys today are being taught that they can take a lower paying job that gives him more time at home, so his wife can go to school and make more money than him, and she'll be there with him, and she'll be supportive and glad that he helped her move ahead. Like that's what society is teaching people.
All right.
She'll be appreciative of that.
It's misogynistic not to support her and focus on yourself and keep your place as the primary breadwinner. It's misogynistic not to help her move forward if you're forward. That's where we're at in society, bro. What's your thoughts on that?
Nah. If I'm the man here, like
Nah.
like I get your significant other having
I'm
like
the man here.
Not even,
hey, fuck it, this is what it'll be. But hey,
He keeping it real.
not even that. I feel like
I'm not.
No cap.
like an example it's like to say it in other words. It's like in order to be a men are being taught how to be a man by sacrificing their path and helping their women and raise them above them.
Oh no, there's nothing wrong with that, but I shouldn't have to sacrifice what
It is something wrong with that.
I shouldn't have to sacrifice my own shit. Just like I can lift you up as well as doing my own shit. It's multitasking.
Yeah.
But that's the point. Is if her
But to be a true
next
man,
level, if her getting to that next level is going to require her to like you said, take classes, and now you got to come home from work less, take a job that's going to pay you a little less but give you less.
You should
hours.
do
I
that
gotta sacrifice
as
my
a man.
dreams in life. Even though I'm providing and doing shit, I gotta now take a step back so you can
Take a step forward.
take a step forward. But
You'd be a good man in the eyes of women.
You're a little
or
closer to the mic, Justin.
In the
society.
eyes of society, not
society.
not a woman
society, you'd
generally.
be considered a good man.
that's a
for
little
doing-
crazy. I
is crazy.
can't subscribe to that. Like,
See, my mom, and my dad, like my mom and my dad actually go to school right now. But my mom, she did school, and my dad didn't have to cut back no hours. She worked multiple jobs. She do school and like I'm dead ass, like 2-3 jobs. She do classes online, like. There ain't no, and I mean, I'm not even just trying to like brag. I'm trying to like give you a real world example of how this could work without the man having to sacrifice.
Who started going to school again first, your mom or your dad?
I think my The same time, actually. It's like it's a shoot. My dad told me it's like a master's in his like my dad got a master's in this like ministerial stuff.
Okay.
Like it's something with to do with his church stuff, but basically it makes him more eligible to be a pastor. He got a master's in that shit as opposed to a bachelor's, which is
Okay.
You know, makes you more
Yeah,
dope. And then my mom, I forget what she got exactly. Honestly, I think they're in like the same school, but for two different like type degrees. And I think my mom went back first, but like my dad's master's took like 2 years or some shit. But they about to graduate on like the same day, so I'm not sure.
Shit. That's
Yeah,
fire.
like
Yeah, that's
this
dope.
month
That's
actually.
dope,
This
though.
month.
Wow.
Yeah,
Shit.
congrats to them for real.
Congrats.
Yo,
So-
congrats.
Congratulations, for real.
Like, so I feel like they might have actually started at the same time, just because I said that, or like they lined it up or some shit. Like they probably planned that, but they about to graduate. So I'm saying that to say that like he hasn't had to sacrifice anything that he's wanted to do up to this point.
Yeah.
For her to still make moves. Like
Right.
she's trying to like start a business. She's trying to, invest. She's trying to do a whole bunch of stuff. Like honestly, and she's not using having to take care of the household as an excuse. That's my point. And this is a older woman, an old school woman. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
ain't gonna say her age, but like it's a, you know what I mean? Like I'm 21. My parents aren't. You know what I mean? Like they're not like super young parents. So it's like you already know like the mentality they have and the traditions and the things that they've established are a little bit different from people nowadays and society's using nowadays. So it's like I feel like she's more like what we're talking about. Like I feel like she would.
Yeah.
I feel like if I had this conversation with her right now, she would understand where we're coming from and be like, yeah, that makes sense. Because why would I make him sacrifice what he wants? Like that's bringing him down. If I'm gonna evolve, I need to evolve on my own.
You know another problem that
I disagree
causes?
with that, but
I feel like it breeds entitlement to a certain extent. Cause like I seen a video. A wife was talking about she was mad that she was like, yeah, we gotta kind of cut down on spending. We've been spending a lot, this, that, and the third. And she got tight. She was like, don't be mad about what I'm spending. Make more money.
wow.
That's exactly what she said.
That was some honest shit, though. I mean, that was some real honest shit.
It's honest on her part, but it's like
It's still
the
disrespectful.
fucking gall of you.
It's
the fucking gall of you.
It's
like,
honest. It is honest.
Honest,
Facts,
that's
but it's still
disrespectful.
disrespectful.
Why is that disrespectful?
Because if you all right,
If
the
you
reason
know what I'm making,
yeah, if we're together and you understand what my situation, all right, even if I feel you should make more money. I feel you. Always make more money. That's cool. Like don't be ambitious. Move forward. Chase your dreams. Make more money.
Right.
I fuck with that.
That's right.
And that right there, I'm not disagreeing with her on that.
Yeah.
But if you know I don't make that much money to support this type lifestyle, then and you not happy with that, you need to go or you need to
Yeah.
stop spending that much fucking money because I do not have that much fucking money. This is finances we're talking about. This is
Yeah.
not our relationship. Stop. Don't be petty like that.
that sounds like a gold
That's
digger,
weird.
essentially.
And then when she made the video,
That's weird.
She just took her and the baby and like went to like Miami or some shit
Yeah, like what the
hold
fuck?
on his
That's
credit
crazy.
card.
Hold
Like,
on.
what
On
the
his
fuck?
credit card, it
No.
was like,
She took her
and then
No.
and then she made the video out there. She was
Crazy.
like, yeah.
So Shorty went on
Crazy.
vacation with only her and the kid, and then told him
Make more
back
money.
home make more
On
money.
his
So I
dime
can.
and told him make more money.
Yeah,
Come on,
she
bro.
spent
So
more
is
bread
hold
and
on.
then told him to make
That's his
more.
wife.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Bruh.
That sounds like a sugar daddy situation.
I
to
might
me.
make the divorce rate go up on that one. For
And
real.
in that particular
That's crazy.
situation, right? I'm not disagreeing that it's not disrespectful in certain ways, but
Yeah.
I feel like on the overall, right? That shows me that shows me a couple things, right? First thing it shows me, one, yeah, dude. I mean, on a general level, I mean, take the gall of this woman saying that while trying to spend this money. Separate that, right?
Yeah, I feel you.
If you have a woman who is with you and she voices something that she has an issue with in as far as your relationship dynamic, her voicing it is probably her last step. Women don't communicate in the same way men do. A lot of the time they're more covert, they're more passive aggressive, where a man is more likely to come out and say something. So if a woman has gotten to the point of saying it like that, that's probably been an ongoing issue that you haven't been able to properly read. And if you were able to properly read it prior, you didn't handle it. within her time frame, right? Now, second thing I notice is the man has to take responsibility for choosing that woman. Because I'm not going to say she's automatically a gold digger, even though that's like what you were going to first get from it, because
But that's not how that started out, though. What if it was a whole different person when I met you? Like, I didn't see this.
And that's real. But
also,
that's where it comes into the processing of
also nothing
your partners.
Also nothing you're saying up to this point, I feel like I still feel like don't spend my money without my permission. My hard-earned money, I go to work every single day for this household, for you and this child. Mm-hmm. Do not spend my money without my permission, bro. Yeah. That's a line you are not crossing. And if you cross that, like I said, I might have to make the divorce rate go up. Keep it at 110%, bro. Now, it's one thing if it's a motherfucking Happy Meal from McDonald's. I ain't going to go all crazy. But you talking about she went to Miami?
A whole vacation, bro.
A whole vacation. And then didn't bring me? You crazy.
And the fact that you did that, tell me make more money while I'm in it.
And then you have the goal to tell me make more. I know we taking that out. And then you have the goal to tell me make more money.
Push the mic a little further away from you, just slightly. There we go.
And then you have the goal to tell me make more money. You feel what I'm saying? Like that shit. Like no, that's unacceptable. Like I feel you. I feel where you coming from.
Is she posted this on the internet?
Dude needs to take that.
It was on Worcester.
The dude needs to take that and reevaluate some things about himself.
See, that's even worse. Not think about that.
With that.
That's even worse because now you've put the world into our relationship.
Well, yeah,
that's even worse.
For real.
Because what if we was just in our own shit and I'm just like, all right, well, I think I'm doing decent. Now you put out into the world, make more money. So now I'm getting looked at like, what you doing?
Hold up, I want to talk about Grass' response because I was surprised.
What? Which part?
About the level of accountability that you said was on the man, and I feel like that mentality is what niggas need. We need to have the resolve to kick these bitches to the curb.
But that's what
we
I would
don't
Yeah.
because of Oneitis.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I was like to touch on it because I was about to go down that road too because within that, right? Let's say, and I didn't see the video that you saw, right? But I'm just going to go off of headcanon, right? So I'm assuming that, was she attractive?
Yeah.
She looked good?
Some little white girl.
Okay. So this is an attractive woman, right? Was the guy in the video?
Nah.
The guy wasn't.
He was gone.
Do we know what the husband's race is?
So we didn't get to, huh?
Do we know what the husband's race is?
We don't.
Okay.
It was a white baby.
It was a white baby.
Okay, all right.
So in this particular scenario, right? I would go as far, and I want y'all take on what I'm saying, right? I would go as far as to say more than likely maybe he was making some okay bread.
Right.
Nothing crazy. Making okay bread. Enough bread to attract this woman to him.
I mean, yeah.
And then he probably gamed her, did whatever. She thought maybe she had a little come up there. Has his baby. At that point, she's spending outside of his budgeting. He was making okay bread, but he was living a certain way. He made enough bread to attract her as a single man, but raising a family with a greedy person is different. So now he has to take responsibility for the fact he didn't filter her out. He didn't wear condoms. He didn't convince her to get an abortion. He didn't get a plan B. He didn't do none of that. Now, it's only so much control the guy has in that scenario because all you could do is smash. And that's the sad part about how we live. But he the one that went out, and we can't assume. But in this particular case, I'm just going to assume he decided to go in raw, made a bad decision. It is what it is. You made a bad decision, bro. I mean, now, if it was some type of bullshit, if it's paternity fraud, put her in jail. If she, like, poked a hole in the condom, put her in jail. If it was, like, any of these type scenarios, okay. But in this, like, most likely scenario, you probably went in raw.
Sushi boy.
Yeah, you wasn't thinking about it. So you went in, and then she ended up getting pregnant. She has your baby, and now
This his wife though, or no?
Well, it said wife.
Yeah, it's his wife.
It said wife.
It's his wife now.
So more than likely. All right, so no, then let me take that back. Then I'll take back what I was saying. In that particular case, she probably saw that he was going somewhere in life. Got onto him. He ended up having that Oneitis. Now and that's the issue, right? That's what we need to understand. We need to maintain the abundance mindset because, like, he probably found that one girl. She was doing what he needed her to do, or even worse, she wasn't even doing everything that she needed to do. He had just been so inexperienced that he was glad that that she made him feel good.
Right.
So he was like, oh, you make me feel good. Like I never met nobody like you, even though you just got to this place in your life. So you're just now going to start meeting women like her. But your minute experience or your low caliber male experience convince you that, oh my God, she's different from everybody else. But you don't know what it's like on this floor. You don't know what they look like, talk
The
like.
sword
act
art
like.
reference. I'm sorry, I love
It's
that.
like- but
you don't know what it's like on the.
You don't know what it's like on this floor. Like you
That's
really
fucking
don't.
dope.
So it's like,
different animal.
I just watched
different
Sword
beef.
Art, yo. I'm late. I just watched it. That's why I'm
but it's
hyped.
like, but that's the real shit. You don't know what the boss battles is like. You don't know what the dungeons is like. You
This
don't know.
was 75.
You
This was-
you don't know. Like you don't know what
don't know.
time you got to pull out your special skill. Whatever.
When the boss gonna switch to a katana.
So
to get-
Bruh.
you fucked up,
Bruh.
and this is where he fucked up.
yeah, for real.
He just popped out on level 45 out of nowhere, and he stopped trying to play the game. He wanted to go buy a
This was
house
bullshit.
and just fish all day.
yeah.
Yeah, he was
Like,
trying to fish off.
that's what
nigga.
he's trying to do.
And then-
Yeah, that's
And
superb.
Then
like-
he stumbled on floor 67.
Yeah, it's like,
He lost now.
it's fucked up.
It's over.
Now, and that's really the issue. Like to get outside of the reference though, but like to be real about it, he probably got to a certain place in his life,
Yeah.
where he just started attracting a certain caliber of woman. He got caught up because he had never got that type of attention before. Put a ring on it, gave her a baby, and he's dealing with the consequences and not exploring his options. And gaining the experience. Like, don't be
first one
mad.
off rip.
Don't be mad. You didn't explore the floor before you tried to fight the boss.
Facts. Why would you do
You don't even know the
100%.
average level of the monsters on this floor.
That's facts.
You don't know the tips and the tricks and the like. So why would you go fight the boss?
You
off
ain't got
rip?
the gear.
And then get mad when you die.
You don't got the gear.
You ain't got
Nigga,
the gear, bro. You
and
ain't
then
got
get
the gear
mad
for
when
this.
you die. Like that's
Had
what I'm
you
saying. Like,
explored the floor, you would have understood that everybody need the magic coated armor. Everybody need the magic coated armor before they go against the boss. You went in there, you ain't have the armor. If you just
got-
explored,
Got caught up.
you would have seen what's up. You thought you could stay in your one little corner of the forest fighting the
Nope.
same fucking piglet monster motherfuckers. And then now you mad because you ain't see the magical beast side. Like, like trying to be funny and whatever, but on a serious note, so now he in that situation and he's dealing with the consequences. And his problem is he's still thinking that, well, this is my boss fight. This is my one and only. This is the one that I need. If I can get past this, I won. And that mentality is fucked up. Like that's the complacency. That's the paralysis we were like addressing before. You get to the point where you stop thinking about moving ahead. You stop thinking about doing better. And you stop thinking about what helps you get ahead. Like in my personal opinion, when you have a long-term relationship, it comes down to you understanding where you want your life to go and you exploring how different people feed into that goal and who best supports you in that goal, maintaining your relationship by how they support you on that goal and removing them from your life when they stop or cease to support you in that goal. Okay. Love is like take them in, deal with the consequences, it's worth it. Where my opinion of love is like I make you feel good, you make me feel good, I support you in certain ways, you support me in certain ways. We're happy based on how we support each other. That's love.